The first Christmas for the Mayflower Pilgrims was not the happy festival you might have imagined. They arrived in the Native American territory of Patuxet, now known as Plymouth, just a few weeks before Christmas, and started looking for a place to permanently settle in the last week before Christmas Day. Their first evening on the shore of the New World happened on December 20. When 20 people remained on shore, they planned to begin building houses the next morning. But Thursday, December 21, proved so stormy that the Mayflower was forced to set an additional anchor. The terrible weather persisted throughout the following day, making it impossible to begin work on the house. Not until Saturday, December 23, were they able to transport a work party from the Mayflower to shore. With their axes and saws, they felled trees and carried the timber to the building site. The fact that Monday, December 25, was Christmas Day meant little to the Pilgrims, who believed that religious celebrations of this sort were a profanation of the true word of Christ. Their view of Christmas is dramatized in the History Channel documentary Desperate Crossing, the untold story of the Mayflower. When King James of England reads from a pamphlet printed by the Pilgrims in exile in Holland. Christmas is an imitation of the December celebration of the ethnic Romans, as if Bacchus, the Roman god of wine and festivity, and not Christ, were the god of the Christians. Is he calling me a pagan? Well, yes, I think he was. More important to the Pilgrims, December 25, 1620, was the day they erected the frame of their first house. No man rested that day, wrote William Bradford, the future governor of Plymouth Plantation. But toward sunset, the familiar cries of Indians, of the Wampanoag tribe, erupted in the surrounding forest. The Pilgrims took up their muskets and stared intensely into the deepening darkness, as the cries echoed briefly and died away. Ahead of them was the unknown wilderness that they could not help but inhabit with all their fears. Behind them was the harbor and the distant Mayflower, lights beginning to twinkle through her cabin windows, a smudge of smoke rising up from the galley stove in the forecastle. The animated film William Bradford, The First Thanksgiving, shows the natives and Pilgrims exchanging arrows and bullets. But this incident actually happened 3 weeks earlier on Cape Cod with the Nauset tribe, not on the shore of Plymouth Harbor with the Wampanoag tribe. What would have astounded a modern sensibility transported back to that Christmas Day in 1620 was the absolute quiet of the scene. Save for the gurgling of Town Brook, the lap of waves against the shore, and the wind in the bare winter branches, everyone was silent as they listened and waited. The Pilgrims' intensely felt spiritual lives did not prevent them from believing in witches and warlocks, and living with the constant fear that Satan and his minions were out there, conspiring against them. It was a fear that must have been difficult to contain as they stared into the deepening gloom of the American night. After waiting for a few more tense minutes, they decided to send the Shallop, their light sailboat, back to the Mayflower, leaving the usual number of 20 ashore. That night they were drenched by yet another rainstorm. And so, on Christmas Day, there were no songs or celebrations. Trees were cut down for building, not decoration. And many more hardships lay ahead before they had much to celebrate. But in the long run, they were successful in building their first settlement and eventually the beginnings of a new country. Thank you for watching. Please like this video, subscribe to this channel for new videos every week or two, and see the description below for a list of books and films featured in this video.